Pizza Tower, a spiritual successor to the Wario Land series that has seen massive success in the last couple months. But does it surpass the series that so heavily inspires it? Are there any other games like it out there? Will we ever see a sequel? I may not have all the answers, but I'm open to talking about the game and having discussions with people about it. Join us now as we talk about Pizza Tower on the newest episode of Pause and Effect. Hope you enjoy. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the newest edition of Pause and Effect. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, CJ, and joining me this episode are my friends Tony W. and Mario. Mario, welcome to the show, and Tony, welcome back to the show. How are you guys?
I'm doing fine. I am tired, but life.
I think we're all tired. Mario, how about you?
Pretty decent. Existing.
Ouch. You know what? I feel that. But yeah, today's episode is all about Pizza Tower, a fast-paced, platformer indie title developed by Torta Pizza, which released on January 2023 for Windows. To start with, what drew you into the game and what kept you interested as you continue to play?
Okay. Should you go first, Mario, or?
You go ahead.
Okay. Well, what drew me into the game, honestly, the thing is I've known about this game for a while. I didn't expect it to come out as good as it did, but it really did come out good. So what drew me in is just like I saw people tweeting about it, and I saw the art style. I saw it was inspired by Wario Land at the time years ago when I first learned about it. I'm like, this looks neat. I'll give it a look. And the art doesn't look finished, but then time passed and it actually came out, and I just saw clips of people raving about it. I'm like, all right. And then I look at gameplay and I noticed just how fast-paced it's gotten, how fast-paced it can be. And I'm like, this actually looks fun. This actually looks like a good time. And playing the release version, yes, it is absolutely one of the best, most breakneck paced games I played, at least in terms of 2D platformers at the very least. How about you, Mario?
So I first saw this game because they did a demo for Sage. I believe that's a Sonic fan game.
Sonic Animator Games Expo.
Yeah, that one. I saw that Vinny Vinesauce was playing this game, and that's when I first heard of it. And I'm like, oh, he goes, it's based on Wario Land, which I really love Wario Land 4. And I looked more into it. This was 2019 when it was still in development. And I was like, oh, okay, this looks like a game I'm definitely going to want just by the visuals and music alone, because the music was amazing. I was even listening to it on my own streams when I was doing my Wario animation. And I was counting down the days of I was closely following the development of this game. I followed the Twitter and the YouTube, and I was like, oh man, please come out. I want to play this, but I tend to not, when it comes to demos, I usually want to play a game when it's completely finished. When given the chance, because I don't want to spoil the experience. I want the first time to be it at its best. You know what I mean? If I were to play I believe I've seen demo gameplay where it's literally the first level. What is it called? John Gutter was available since the earliest builds, and I think Blood Sauce Dungeon was available a little later. And I've seen those levels for a while, but those two levels ended up being some of my favorite in the game, and I feel like it wouldn't have been as good, or I wouldn't have enjoyed them as much if I played them before.
Gotcha. I kind of get that because I actually do remember playing the Sage demo way back when. Not because I was interested in Sage, but like because that was a demo that was available when I first learned of the game. And I remember not feeling super impressed at the time because, like, you don't really get into a sense of flow with such a limited set of levels, and you don't get a full sense of what the game's going for. But like playing it recently, like, has been a completely different experience. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that sense because it's kind of the reason why I was so like something like that, getting a less than ideal sense of how a game can flow or like game can play based on just a demo. In some instances it works, in a lot of instances it doesn't. It's kind of why I was so turned off from playing games like Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, because I played the demo for that and I was just like, oh God, this demo was terrible. Although to my knowledge, because I remember when I did my itch.io game stream like at this point last week, I happened to look because I was searching a few things that I could download just to play them. I do remember seeing amongst the most popular category that some of the older Pizza Tower demo builds were available for download, but I did not get to those.
Yeah, they were a little bit different. They were a bit different back then, or at least the Sage one was. But yeah, I just didn't get the sense of what the game wanted from me at the time. When now it's very clear the game wants you to be fast and frenetic and just throw caution to the wind a bit.
Yeah, but at least it eases you into it, I think.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, that first level you can absolutely just go ham on it if you want, but like, other than that, like, there's not. It's barely demanding in any sense, and it just allows you to just experiment and see how you want to play.
Yeah. I'm at least glad that the two of you have more experience with like the early days of Pizza Tower before it actually released than I did, because I had never even heard of this game until I saw Mario in one of our like shared discords that we're in. He streamed it to us one night because he wanted to show it off, and I'm like, whoa, what is this? How are you doing all of this? This looks really cool. And I said to myself, I want to get this game. I want to play it on stream. And I didn't pick it up for like a month or two because I said to myself, I'm going to wait for a sale. And then it didn't go on sale during the Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's or whatever the hell. And I said, you know what? Screw it. It's only $15. I'll just buy it. Or is it 20? I don't remember.
It was 20. It was 20.
And then I played it on stream, and the rest is history. I came for the Wario Land style gameplay. I stayed for the absurdist nature of it.
Oh yeah, it is. That is a weird thing, and something I feel like commenting on as a bit of an artist is that, like, I've heard people call this game crude and ugly and stuff like that.
Who says that?
Well, people with no taste, but
Exactly.
but the point is that, one, it's a lot of what you're seeing on a lot of, like, the expression work and just how far they're able to exaggerate Peppino's movements and his mood, and just everything like that. How far they do that is like something like I could only wish I could draw to that extent, because sure, it might be messy, but messy doesn't mean bad. It means it's a specific type of aesthetic.
Well,
And
I'd say the best part about the art style is it helps the gameplay, is because if you're going at freaking 100 miles an hour, you need the enemies to have these giant eye bulging expressions to make sure you could see them from no matter how far they are.
that is a good point.
It serves a gameplay purpose too. It really has the feeling of those early 90s, I don't know if you guys remember this, What a Cartoon, which is they basically did pilot shorts for Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. I think Nickelodeons were called Oh Yeah cartoons. And what's funny is there's at least two episodes where it's literally about a pizza boy trying to go lightning fast to deliver a pizza.
Really?
They even have the same outfit, except the chef hat. It was more of a backwards cap because he was like a teenager. But no, he had the black pants and he was like had these over the top expressions and like zooming at hundreds of miles an hour all the way to go to Antarctica just to deliver a pizza. Yeah, like
really? Like, do you think that was like inspiration at all?
Oh, absolutely. Like there's clear the fact that the game has sound effects that are straight up from Ed, Edd n Eddy and like stuff like that. It's got Ed, Edd n Eddy sounds. It's got Courage the Cowardly Dog expressions. It's got
no, I definitely got that it was inspired by those kinds of cartoons. I remember stuff like that. But do you think it was like specifically inspired by those Pizza Boy ones you're talking about?
Those could be coincidence because I don't know. We would literally have to talk with the artists themselves and see like where he got an idea for pizza delivery, or I don't know if there's like devlogs to say why is it pizza themed? Why do they pick pizza? Is it because of like the joke of like pizza has to be like deliver a pizza at like in like under 30 minutes or it's free? Like, is that why? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. I've heard people surprised there isn't like a delivery aspect to the game, but
well, one could say that you're delivering pain to all of the things that are in your way.
Yeah.
Either by tossing them or pile driving them or just throwing them. Hell, there's even a throwing animation where Peppino bites the enemy.
Yeah, everyone like everyone's like, whoa, to that one.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a lot of love and care to those sort of aspects of the game that it just to give it that personality, not just in like the art style, but just like how many different animations for throwing enemies and like all the different like run cycles and all that.
Yeah, the biggest art style difference is the Microsoft Paint looking line work.
Yeah.
The sort of pixely look. Yeah. And I mean, it works, but that's where I'm like, okay, I could see why some people like might not understand or might not grasp like why others see so much appeal in this, because like Microsoft Paint isn't exactly renowned sort of art tool.
Well, it gives it it makes it a lot, well, it's sharper to make sure you can always see where your hitbox is. That's one thing.
That is also true.
You'll never lose sight of your hitbox, even if you're going a million miles an hour. What's apparently, I don't know if this, I've read this on like a Twitter post somewhere, but I think the entirety of the game uses the color palette of Wario Land 2.
That one surprised me because I played Wario Land 3, or I tried playing it. Believe it or not, I wasn't digging it. But I was playing it, and I saw that Wario was black and white, had black and white clothes on. I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
That looks kind of like Peppino.
Yeah, I will say as an avid fan of Wario Land 1, 2, and 3, I will admit that those games are very much slower paced in nature, whereas Wario Land 4 was the one that really delved into the speedrunning aspect of the entire thing. But was also the first in the series, and I don't know if Shake It still persisted with it, but was also the first in the series to add a health bar.
Shake It does have a health bar, yes.
Okay.
Shake It does have a health bar.
I played Shake It for like 5 minutes as a child, hated it, and like sold it to GameStop. Biggest mistake of my life.
That's upsetting. But I mean, I've seen gameplay of Shake It. It's a little more slow paced than 4, from what I've seen. But shoot, I was gonna say something. The fact is that older Wario Land games couldn't be fast paced because you were gonna playing those things on a dinky Game Boy.
Yeah.
Like you can't have the screen scroll too fast because you would never be able to see because that it could barely handle the FPS first of all, and if it did, it would be blurry and muddy and look gross. So that's why they made Wario games a lot slower than the earlier Mario games like Land 1 and Land 2.
Yeah, also like that kind of is a good transition into like how Pizza Tower allows for a lot more speed because one, more screen real estate, a lot more.
A lot.
Great.
2, like just how everything kind of flows together, like in terms of controls, like a lot of stuff is kind of done automatically, like running up walls and stuff like that, but still needs a little bit of enough player input that it requires skill and reflexes and all that. I've been playing. I've been too busy to continue it, but like late, like in the past week or so. But I've been trying to go for all the P ranks in the game. I've gotten through floor 3, and I'm currently trying to do Freezerator on floor 4, which is a great level. But and I think another thing that I appreciate about it that I like more than other like games that'll like have these speedrun challenges or whatever is that there's actually a surprising amount of room for mistakes. You have to recover from your mistakes, but you can make mistakes, and the game you can still get a P rank. So if it doesn't make it feel like not challenging, but it doesn't make it feel like you have to be like a machine, like an AI inputting things at the exact right moment.
Okay. Right. Have any of you seen the Pizza Tower guy within the game?
Only in the first level. Only in the first level because I went for the achievement there.
Right. So, CJ, the Pizza Tower guy is a character who appears only if you are. I believe he appears in every level, and if you're beating it fast enough, he will literally appear for like a frame on screen and just disappear. I think it's literally just a drawing of the creator and just in a tower costume.
Yeah.
And he just shows up, he's drinking a coffee, and then he'll just disappear.
I mean, yeah, the game has a sense of that sort of sense of humor of toying with you a little bit too sometimes.
Yeah, I do see that a lot.
A fake pepino is a good example of that.
Fake pepino was fake pepino was apparently something that he kept a secret the whole time. Like that's something that was only during launch, which I respect that.
I respect that, actually.
Oh yeah, you gotta keep some surprises.
So I wonder how many people got freaked out by the fake pepino chase, because that got me good. I was like, oh, crap.
That freaked me out bad. I was like,
crap.
I had that spoiled for me, unfortunately. That there was a chase afterwards. It wasn't as terrifying as it could have been. But like that fight, just the animation on him, man, it's body horror.
yeah, and just hearing him croak like a frog, I got so confused.
Well, I think that's like, they made like in Jurassic Park, they cloned dinosaurs using frogs. I'm guessing they're trying to make some implications about frogs, about cloning and stuff.
Yeah, no, I do get that, and it is very on brand, more with the absurdist humor over everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So a question for you guys. How many hours do you think you've sunk into this game and will possibly continue to invest? And out of everything you've played, do you have a favorite level?
Why don't you go first, Mario?
I believe I just checked now. It's 72 right now.
Dang, I'm only at 9.
Yeah, 72 hours of this one. I've P ranked everything. I'm trying to get perfect scores on everything. No damage, P rank, no slow. Because the crazy thing about a perfect score is that during pizza time, your score goes down 5 points every second.
Yep.
So in order to get the high possible, you do have to, as you said earlier, to play like an AI, essentially. And it's really hard, but I like that challenge is there because it encourages that you're never truly done with this game.
You can always do a better score.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm guessing you've gotten all the P ranks at this point.
All the P ranks, I got all the costumes. The hardest one to get, not only the one for getting every P rank, but there's a costume to
2.5 hours, and John.
The John one. Yeah, that one took me a while. I did all the P ranks.
I'm terrified of getting to that part.
Yeah. But I'm going to be playing, like, I dare say that this is a game I replay more than the sacred Donkey Kong Country 2. Like,
dang.
Like that's it's really amazing when you play something in your adult life that almost surpasses something from your childhood.
Oh yeah, because I mean, you have that rose tinted lens for your childhood thing. So like, and not to say that the childhood thing is bad and the rose tint, it's very good, but like you have that bias. And it's a very innate bias, a psychological bias that's hard to kind of get past. So if it gets past that, that's impressive.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Diddy Kong's Quest. but you still have a live system and a weird save system, and that's your one tiny little nitpick that I would have. But Pizza Tower, like hell, one of the best things about Pizza Tower is like if you mess up a stage, restarting takes like a couple seconds, not even like a second.
It takes a frame.
Like a frame, just boom.
Yeah, just boom, you're there.
You're there.
Already back. Like that needs to be in like every modern game. I'm tired of these dumb fanfares where it's like, oh, game over, you died. Need to load. Need to see that you've died. It gives you like a hint, and it's like, I don't care. Just let me in. Let me in. I want like go faster.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Pizza Tower is all about. Go faster.
Go faster. Let me in. I want my pizza now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
As for me, I think I need to say like my piece. My playtime, looking at it, is 35.9 hours. So close to 36. I go like I take longer to get the best at certain games. Like it took me over 100 hours to get not even full 100% on Crash 4. It's about time, but like
I heard that one was a nightmare.
Yeah,
like
Crash 4 is a nightmare to 100%.
I got through everything except the time trials. Like, and that gives you at least like the first level of 100%, if that makes sense.
Right. No, yeah. I that's my same for Tropical Freeze.
But I just enjoyed the game so much that I kind of didn't care, except for the load times, like you mentioned, which is something that this game has over it. So trying to think, what like favorite level? That's tough. Having replayed a lot of them for the P ranks, definitely not Gnome Forest. That level is not fun to P rank.
But Lario.
I realize we have Gustavo, and he's such a fun character with a unique play style. But that level is just way too long, like, and arduous, and it's especially if you're P ranking it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I forgot to say my favorite level, but
favorite level. Oh, geez, replaying some P ranks. Weirdly enough, like Crust Cove was actually a lot of fun. Yeah,
Crust Cove is good.
Yeah, because of the barrel segments in particular. I do like the theming of the pig city. You know what? I'm actually going to be controversial here. I think my favorite is War.
War, huh?
Yeah,
and you've done a lap too?
I haven't P ranked it yet, but I have done lap 2 by accident. Like I went in it again to get all the like secrets, and like I got all the secrets, and then I got to the end, but then I accidentally went through the lap 2. So I had to do a lap 2 just to get the secrets, and I wasn't getting a P rank or an S rank or anything from that run. Ridiculous, but
yeah, it's a tough level, but it truly is like a culmination of everything that you've gone through in the game up until that point.
I mean, that's a bit more the crumbling tower of pizza but still.
I do love that level too. But my favorite is one I'm playing literally every time I boot up the game. It's Fast Food Saloon.
I love that level. Yes.
That level is just flawless. I can't, like, every enemy placement is so smart. The mechanic of every mechanic is built upon going faster. Like it introduces the horsey races, which literally, I think I was streaming with you, CJ. I was cracking up just at the face that damn horse.
Yeah.
I was
because
just like,
he's such an asshole. They gotta make him an asshole so it feels good to beat him.
It feels so good to beat him, and his face, it just kills me. Like I paused the game for I think 20 minutes when I saw that face. He's so pissed. But the introducing the horse races, then you have the buttons that are basically another race, but more of a timed door. Then you have the weenie sausage thing.
Yeah, like I remember remarking on that a bunch of times when I was playing it twice on stream. Like, don't mind me, just riding my sausage.
Yeah, it's the sausage is one of the few power-ups in the game that's actually faster than Mach 4 running. So
that is true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And there's like little parts in the level where it's just like you could, if you do the jumps just right, you could be at like Mach 5 and just like plow through it. it doesn't just go all speed, because then there's the gust of wind parts of the level, which is another new mechanic. So it introduces, let's see, the horsey racing, the button doors, the sausage thing, the wind, enemies that shoot projectiles, the turkeys that, granted they were in earlier levels, but they're built more for this because there's elevated platforms. So when a turkey jumps, it'll actually get on the next level. And like there's even a secret in the third secret is hidden after pizza time in like a side door. But like everything flows really good, and that fucking song is like probably my favorite in the whole game.
Yeah, the fast food saloon song is also my favorite. Just
It's so good.
Then again, I'm personally a sucker for slap bass in anything, and then I just hear the Hideki Naganuma sequence coming in at the tail end of the song, and I'm like, wait, who the fuck composed this? Hideki Naganuma? Like, was he involved? And someone in my chat is just going, no, it was this person. I'm like, no, I know that. I'm just like,
don't understand what's going on here. Which is the whole game.
Yeah, it's. I would put that up high. I honestly don't know what my favorite would be, but it's that's definitely a contender. I also really like Oregano Desert's music.
Yes,
that one's rough to P rank though. I don't know if you got there yet.
What?
Oregano Desert is rough to P rank. Did you get there yet for P
ranking?
ranking?
I didn't have too hard a time with it.
Really?
The cows are intimidating, but believe it or not, you slow down there and you're fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not my instinct to slow down in Pizza Tower.
I know.
But yeah, the cows and the fire. I was not good at controlling Peppino with his mouth on fire.
I get that. I got used to it with time, though. There's just like a little bit of weird momentum to it. So it can feel a bit floaty. It feels like going from you're going from normal Pizza Tower gameplay a bit to like something like Super Meat Boy, if that makes sense.
Almost like water physics.
Kind of. You know that brings us like favorite like level mechanic in the game, like power up, I guess.
I know one. It's not the cheese transformation in oh shit. I don't like that one.
It slows you down. Like that one. Like I don't see why they. I don't see how that conformed with what the mission statement of the game is supposed to be.
That was the only power up I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah. Like there's gotta be what else was in Freezer? I mean the end of Freezerator was pretty good.
The screw attack hot sauce thing or whatever that pizza was.
It was a pizza with a pepper on it.
Yeah.
A devil's favorite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called.
Choice. No, Satan's choice specifically.
Choice.
Yeah.
That was fun. What else was there? I mean,
Pizza Box was fun to use, but I swear it always messes up in the bonus room.
In Deep Dish 9, I like the pair of like the rockets and the olive bubbles.
Yeah.
It's like olive on your pizza.
I personally don't.
I like a Supreme every now and then, the ones with the veggies and the meat. But
if it's a Supreme pizza, I don't have a problem. But if it's like strictly a veggie pizza, then I raise an eyebrow.
Where's the beef? Just go, where's the beef?
I think I've given my favorite. What about you guys?
Favorite mechanic is tough.
Well, how about power up at least, or like, I guess slapstick, painful stuff that happens to Peppino that he uses to his benefit.
I'm kind of in the same camp with the Satan's Choice power up personally. Although, do you consider Gustavo and Brick a power up?
I mean, that's fair enough.
But not in Gnome Forest. I'm talking about more in the sense of Pig City.
Pig City was good.
Big City is good. Yeah, with the I like that the handrails or whatever act differently with each character.
Yeah.
I also like one detail I like is when Gustavo's on the handrails, like Rick will just like pop up sitting in the background.
Yeah, reading a newspaper.
Reading a newspaper, and I was just like like it's the little touches of personality like that makes it things so lovable. But yeah, I can see, because it's a very fun, it's a change of pace. It isn't as smooth as Pepino, but you get to bounce around, and it just feels good in its own way.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I want to say it's a simple one, but I like the rocket in Deep Dish 9.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I said, like the rocket and the olive are, because they both are things that kind of just automatically propel you in a direction, and you but there are nuances to it, like the olive is kind of bouncy and stuff, and the rocket you can turn around.
The rocket turns around sharper than running, and the thing it destroy. I like that it doesn't just destroy rats like everything else. Which that's one minor nitpick I have about the game, is that all of the power-ups have like they're mainly used to destroy rats that are in the way, either bowling ball shaped ones or just fat ones or tiny ones. But it's weird that there's also rats as normal enemies, so it's just kind of throws me off sometimes.
Yeah, that definitely threw me off in Fast Food Saloon a couple times.
Yeah, the thing is,
a minor thing, but
consistent logic stuff. I guess in a game with like a tone like this, you the consistency isn't exactly priority, I guess.
The rocket, though, it had asteroids that it destroyed, so that makes total sense.
Oh yeah.
Did they have like cigarettes or something?
I don't know. They were wearing a hat too, and they looked chill. Which reminds me, the squares, like the cheese cubes that, like, with the glasses and stuff.
Oh yeah.
My friend pointed out that the reason why they're wearing glasses and look like a dork, they're keys squares.
Oh, so yeah, okay.
They're squares.
Keys square.
I get it now.
Nerd, like SpongeBob.
I never would have pieced that together.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either, but my roommate just like got it. Like, that was the first day I was playing that he noticed that, and like he couldn't stop laughing. But I mean, yep.
Nerdy cheese.
Nerdy cheese.
Nerdy cheese indeed.
It's probably like, yeah, gorgonzola. Just nasty.
This whole game, game sense of humor is quite cheesy. It's just
yeah.
We
had to go there at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Jeez.
So, anything else you want to talk about Pizza Tower?
Yeah, wanted to ask you guys, for anybody who would be looking to pick this game up for the first time, how difficult would you say it would be to a first timer?
Honestly, okay, the bosses are a bit of like a hurdle.
Yeah, the bosses take some getting used to.
But like, since most of the levels, with the exception of War, like for most of their runtime, you're able, you don't die. Unless it's pizza time.
Or
I'd
if it's a
say-
boss.
What?
Bosses kill you too.
Yeah, bosses and pizza time. Since those kill you, like you have to be willing. I guess you'd have to be willing to repeat the bosses a couple of times to get used to them. But other than that, like levels can be quite breezy, and I don't know about you guys, but like I found pizza time to be quite lenient.
In a sense, it is. I think it really just depends on how well adjusted you get to the game over time. Because from my perspective, I remember by when I was in World One, I was like actively thinking about, oh, how do I do this? How do I make sure that I'm going the correct way? Yada yada yada. By World Four, I remember remarking to myself that I picked up the controls and was just speeding through it very fluidly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I would say like there is a curve, but it really helps you guide you through it.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Mario? Any thoughts?
For tips on first timers, first off is remember that the main thing about the game is to just remember what the tutorial taught you about momentum. Is that I would see first timers struggle with, oh, this is a metal box, I must be able to break it with just a ground pound. But it's like the game has teaching moments where it's like, oh, you have to climb higher to break those steel boxes, you know. And
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's
they
not
say
as
that in the
conveyed.
tutorial.
They do, but like things like I've seen like players like forget that specific tip a lot. And little things like that, like how to do the shine spark, like when you do press up during a mock dash, like things like that. Like some of the more advanced techniques are easy to forget because there's a lot. Like just because this game has only 4 buttons, yeah, because jump, attack, taunt, and run. It uses them a lot, like in combination. Like you can run, you can dash, and then press down to do a dive, and then press up in order to do a super jump, and then press attack after doing a super jump to do a shoulder charge, which can break certain blocks. There's a lot to take in at the beginning when it comes to those advanced moves. So that could be a little overwhelming, but the game is really good at making sure that it won't get you stuck in a spot without if you don't like know how to use it.
Yeah.
And also one other thing that I will add is like,
go ahead.
if you feel like you're getting railroaded during the experience and you think to yourself, should I be going this way? Should I have gone the other way? If you think you're getting railroaded, let it happen. Because the more you overthink it and think, oh, I should have gone that way. Fuck it, I'm turning around and going back that way. The more you're going to like lose time and maybe like lose out on your combos. Like repeated runs of certain levels, like I get it in a way, because then you know what the correct path is, and then you can just take your time exploring just a bit. But beyond that, it's more a sense of like, first time playing a level, if you think you're getting pushed in a way that like takes you to the end or takes you to the pillar, then yeah, just let it run, let it ride, let it happen, and maybe you'll be all the better for it. Because you can always just revisit levels.
Yeah. The
also,
game has
do not run during bosses.
That is true. Do not run during bosses.
Oh yeah, that I watched the Game Grumps play the first like boss, and Aaron was holding down the run button for most of the time, most of his attempts trying to beat Pepperman. And I'm just shaking my head, and I'd say disappointment, but it's to be expected.
Oh, what's your guys' favorite boss?
Oh,
Fake Pepino.
yeah. Actually, hands down.
I'm going. I go Vigilante. I like the music and just him giving you a gun makes it feel like even. It's the one that you could speed run the most because you could constantly do damage to him, unlike the other ones where you have to like wait for them to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
I didn't get that.
I will say too, the wackiness of the noise comes in second place.
Especially when it ends with his girlfriend doing some CBT.
Yeah, I hated that fight personally, but like the noise is a funny guy.
The noise is a funny character. You do know what he's based off of, right?
I
Noid.
don't actually.
Noid.
The Noid was an old Domino's mascot.
CJ, you don't know about the Noid?
I don't. No.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. Let me. Okay, so yeah, he's right. Tony's right. It was Domino's old pizza mascot. So the whole gimmick was that here's the noise. He loves to ruin pizza, and it would be a stop motion animation of this little rabbit looking thing crushing a box of pizza with like a pogo stick crusher thing. But like Domino's pizza knows how to avoid the Noid, and it's like that Domino's pizza is infallible. Like that was their gimmick, and it didn't really work because most people don't like Domino's.
God, I'm looking at him now, like Jesus Christ. I definitely see the similarities between the Noid and the noise.
He's quite frightening. He had a video game too.
Oh gosh.
And a sequel that was fan made, which is actually amazing because he fights Hatsune Miku's dad.
What?
I'm not making this up. It actually looks like a very fun fan game, but with really good music.
The fact that all of the shit that you just said is legit sort of terrifies me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And also I looked him up. There's also even pictures of the Noid with Crash Bandicoot.
Yep, that happened with the mobile game.
Oh yes, the Crash on the Run had the Noid for some reason.
God, are you serious?
Now I don't know if this is the reason the Noid, the real Noid, the Pizza Hut mascot is so infamous is because of why he got removed, and that's kind of a touchy subject. So,
I'll be right back. I need to use the washroom.
Yeah, take your time.
CJ, you could look up and let me know like why the noise was canceled, and let me know if we're able to talk about that on podcast.
I'm looking it up now. Okay, there's an article on Food and Wine, the tragic end of the Domino's Noid.
I guess your reaction will be just fine.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm reading this out loud. Hold the fuck up.
You want to wait for him, or you just go for it?
I'm gonna wait because this is
insane, huh?
This is dark stuff.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Like this is like this belongs on like what's the name of that subreddit? I'm 15 and this is deep.
I don't know that one, but I learned this. I learned this from that one YouTuber, Rebel Taxi, the one that does cartoon reviews. He made a light to the dark history of the Noid. What's sad is because I do respect the animator, the stop motion animator who created him. He also created the PJs, that old stop motion show, and he had another thing. Oh, the California Raisins. The creator of the noise also created the California Raisins. He's a stop motion animator.
God, really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Isn't that shit crazy? Dude, CJ, I'm very surprised. Like you've never because I forget you're older than me, aren't you? Or
yeah, but I've like never heard of this because apparently
a lot of dominoes where you're at.
All this well, no, all of this happened in 89. I wasn't born then. I was born like 3 years later.
Oh, fair enough. Wait, how do I know the noise then?
Like internet rabbit holes, man.
Yeah, that's true.
God, I'm reading.
There's that Adam West joke in Family Guy where he's
Which
like,
one?
perhaps where he kills the Noid. Perhaps it was the Noid who should have avoided me.
All right, I'm back.
God, the only thing I know about Adam West and Family Guy is that he was the mayor, and that was it.
Yeah, he was the mayor, and he had a bit with the Noid. But yeah,
I did not know that.
Okay, he's going to read the tragic history of why the Noid is no longer a thing.
So this comes from foodandwine.com. So the commercials with the Noid were an immediate success and vaulted Domino's into a pizza war with Pizza Hut. The Noid became a household name, but on January 30th, 1989, the company endured the worst mascot public relations disaster in history. History? I don't know about that. Either way, it was a typical Monday lunch hour when 22-year-old Kenneth Lamar Noid walked into the Domino's Pizza in Chamblee, Georgia, clutching a Magnum revolver. He took 2 employees hostage for more than 5 hours, who were able to escape when Noid ordered and ate a pizza. Luckily, no one was hurt during the ordeal. Noid was apprehended and charged with kidnapping, aggravated assault, and theft by extortion. While most of his initial demands were pretty standard, $10,000 and a getaway car, he also, stupid fucking thing, like, hey, subscribe. Like, no, go away. Okay, $10,000 and a getaway car. He also wanted a copy of the book The Widow's Son, a novel about Freemasons. It soon became clear that Noid was motivated by more than just tangible things. According to police officers on the scene, Noid had become convinced that the pizza chain's marketing campaign had been aimed directly at him. Said one of the officers, Noid was having an ongoing feud in his mind with Monaghan about the Noid commercials and thought the ads were specifically made to mock him. He adamantly thought that the owner of Domino's Pizza was telling people to stay clear of him. Needless to say, newspapers had a field day with the headlines, with many coming off as rather insensitive to the situation. While Noid was charged, he was ultimately found not guilty of the crimes by reason of insanity and was sent to Georgia's Mental Health Institute. Despite this PR disaster, Domino's kept the Noid around and continued to employ him in more absurd commercials. Unfortunately, the Noid story took a turn for the tragic. In 95, still convinced that Domino's Pizza was out to make his life miserable, Kenneth Lamar Noid unalived in his Florida apartment. The pizza chain immediately stopped using the Noid in their marketing thereafter. Man, that is... Wow.
God, that is a lot darker than I thought. Jeez.
The Noid.
Oh, but they can bring him back for Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, enough time has passed. But
what?
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't have thought of that happening in existence.
No.
That's like if if somebody somebody named Ronald went over to McDonald's and just was like, you think I'm a clown?
Do I look like a fucking clown? Am I funny to you? Do I amuse you?
Yeah, that whole situation is just dark.
Yeah. In any case,
yeah, that was a nifty little aside. At least I learned something that I never would have learned before. So, I just have a few more questions. So,
Yep.
Do you have any recommendations for anyone looking to play something similar to Pizza Tower?
I mean, it's got very many similarities in level design to Donkey Kong Country, like Donkey Kong Country series, and
I think
I mean,
Wario Land 4 would be the obvious one.
Wario Land 4 is the obvious one, yeah, but that one's not as easy to play these days.
I'm still waiting
mean-
for that to come to Game Boy Advance Online.
Yeah, when that comes to Game Boy Advance Online, then yeah, that's the easiest similar thing.
Yeah, one of these days.
Let me think, because like it's really like on paper, it's very typical of as a 2D platformer. Like it's got all the makings of 2D platformer staples, like the kind of collectibles, like there's coins and then there's like a bunch of them, like a thing more valuable than coins. There's a couple secrets that add up to 100% completion. Like most thing, like kind of standard,
Yeah.
The main difference is how you get them and the pace of the game. And this is one of the fastest paced games I've ever played. Like I mean, Super Meat Boy is probably up there too. That's a pretty fast paced platformer. That's like main gimmick is like its difficulty rather than its speed, but
may I give my own suggestions?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, the first one that comes to mind is a game that is actually apparently Pizza Tower isn't the only Wario Land 4 inspired game that's been in development. There is this game I've heard of, and I've heard of it, like people have made memes like putting Peppino with a character from this game.
I know where you're going with this.
Anton Blast.
Oh, Anton Blast.
Yeah.
Funnily, I actually threw money at that Kickstarter.
Yeah. The devs of these two games are pretty chill with each other, it seems.
Yeah, and like I'd say keep an eye out for that one. It's not out, but like I do think they have a free demo though. For those who like that sort of thing. I know we talked earlier about avoiding demos like the Noid, but what other games? I mean, like I would honestly recommend like Sonic, like old school Sonic games, like because like I mean, there's a reason this showed up at Sage. You gotta go fast. In the Sage demo, there was a little hedgehog,
Nick.
hedgehog guy. He wasn't Sonic. He was Nick.
Snick the Hog.
Nick the Hog.
Snick the Hog. That's amazing.
Yeah. So actually, he appears on a few secrets in the actual game. Like there's like a missing poster with him on it, and I think the slums.
He's in the laundry room.
And he also appears in one of the hidden rooms in the overworld, under a sheet. So, yeah. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Sonic games also.
I think more to that, I would more recommend as far as Sonic is concerned, like Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure, and maybe like Sonic Mania over literally anything else Sonic can offer.
Yeah.
Maybe not Sonic 1. No spin dash.
I don't know about that.
Sonic 1 is a bad introduction to Sonic nowadays. It hasn't aged as well as the others.
I mean, my intro to Sonic was through like simultaneously Sonic. No, I was going to say Sonic Advance and Sonic Adventure 2, but that's not true. My introduction to Sonic was Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure on Neo Geo Pocket Color.
I mean, that's one way to start. All right. got any more questions for us?
Yeah. If you were to make either a sequel, spin-off, or new level for Pizza Tower, how would you do it and what would you add?
Mario, do you want me to take this first, or you?
I mean, I'll just answer with the thing I'm assuming is going to happen is the multiple playable characters that were in earlier demos. Like I remember the Noise and Vigilante were playable. So I'm assuming if or when they're adding DLC, that'll probably be the whole thing. It'll be like Pig City and Gnome Forest, where half of it will be Peppino and the other half will be the new characters.
I find that interesting. If I were to make a sequel, man, well, I suppose like one of the things I would change is probably have like I like the bosses as they are, but also I feel like there needs to be like more boss encounters that involve going fast, like the fake Peppino chase and such, because like it kind of makes it feel like you're playing two different games. They're both good. They're both really good games, but it can feel very different. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. Like, this is something you'd have to give me like a day, like a full day to think about.
That is honestly fair.
But
one thing I will say one thing I did notice regarding a lot of the level choices was that similar to how Wario Land 4 follows like themes in each of its worlds. Like for example, the green levels were all like very tropical themed, forest, meadow, like just all sorts of like greenery. The blue levels were horror, the red levels were factory industrial, and the yellow levels were like play box, toy box, fun box type of things. So, and we do kind of get a sense of that in Pizza Tower too. Like floor 1 is like kind of standard fare, like what you'd see in a tower. Set like floor 2 is a desert, floor 3 is like stuff that you go on vacation and do, or go on vacation and see. Yes, that does include outer space.
Apparently.
Floor 4 also takes on the same level of like industrial type stuff, because if you look between the levels, like Wario Land 4 doesn't have a cop level, but it has like a factory level, a toxic dump level, and a refrigerator level that either Pizza Tower took inspiration from, or that the two of them just so happen to share. And then floor 5 of Pizza Tower is all like horror themed levels, similar to what the blue levels were in Wario Land 4. So personally, I'd be more interested in seeing a lot of things that share more like thematics with each other. But as far as what I would specifically do, I don't know, maybe like a volcano level or something.
We kind of have that with Blood Sauce Dungeon with the lava pits.
That is true, but I'm thinking more in the sense of like what Fiery Caverns was in 4.
Was my favorite. It's funny because even Wario Land 4, instead of racing against dominoes, you were racing against a toy horsey. Let me think. There's what was my favorite level in Wario Land 4? I usually like doing the yellow levels, Topaz, the domino level. There was the big board with the board game, the Oh, the board game would be interesting. Or maybe instead we could think of like common things in a pizza restaurant, right? Like surprisingly, there isn't a level themed around a kitchen, with the exception of part of Don't Make a Sound.
I guess so.
That would be cool, I think.
Or let's see, what else? What else is like a pizza? Or maybe instead like have worlds based on like classes of pizza. So you have the beginning is kind of like the basic mom and pop stop, kind of like Peppino's Pizza. The next level is like a chain restaurant where it's like it's more just generic Italian food, but it's like a fancier restaurant. And then you have the Chuck E. Cheese like level world, and then the last one is like the 5-star elite, like expensive, like made of gold, like pizza or something. Like something ridiculous like that.
I mean, those are possibilities.
God, what if one of the levels was just reminiscent of because you're from Chicago and Mario, you used to live in Chicago. You guys remember
Well, I don't live in Chicago. I live in California.
Well, used to, I said.
I used to, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys remember in downtown they have that Italy Italian market there?
Ish. Where's that near?
It's a couple blocks off of the Grand Station on the Red Line.
Oh, okay.
Like it originated in New York, but they brought one over to Chicago too. I keep laughing and I'm thinking like, what if you had like a level that was just an Italian marketplace like that? That would be hilarious, I think.
I would like that, but I in some degree, but I do wonder about like if people might get sensitive a bit over it.
I mean, the guy's last name is Spaghetti.
Like, fair enough. If people are upset about that, then
like the people who would be upset about that aren't playing Pizza Tower in the first place. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Either that or they consider Mario from Super Mario Brothers as like a be all end all like Italian representation type of thing. I don't know.
Nah.
That gets a bit dicey.
Yeah, it gets dicey. Yeah. Anything else?
That is actually all I've got. But before we go, do you guys have anything you want to plug or shout out before we finish up?
I'm Mario Shea 64 on all social media /YouTube. Watch, if you like Pizza Tower, you'll probably like this cartoon I made called Wario's Day Off, which is basically Wario rushing through Bowser's castle to steal something, and Waluigi's the getaway driver.
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times, guys. It's a really fun time. Definitely go check it out. And I will link that in the description.
All right. Yeah, I don't got anything to plug right now. I'm just too busy trying to stay alive. So,
you don't want to plug the fact that you're a pixel artist that's made a game that I did music for, my friend?
Okay, fair enough. We made Dribble. It's on iOS on the App Store and Google Play for free. Like no ads, no nothing. Just go on ahead, have fun. And one day we hope to make Dribble 2, but that's on the back burner right now while I figure out just life punching me in the face a couple of times. So
I understand.
It was just tax season, so
that is true. And tomorrow is the last day for that. The recording of this is on April 17th.
All right. Well, That's about it I've got.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you both for being here. This is a fun discussion.
No problem. I really enjoyed Pizza Tower, and I hope to get to maybe not perfect scores like Mario, but at least all the P ranks.
Remember, listeners, Chicago style deep dish is best pizza.
Actually, kind of, yeah.
What about Chicago style thin crust cut into squares?
That's fine too, as long as it's from Chicago. I'm in California. The pizza here sucks. California pizza is pathetic. I'm dating someone from New York, and she's Mrs. Oh, New York, you have to fold your pizza. It's like, nah, our pizza must be like weigh a ton and be like this giant slice, like the size that you could barely fit in your mouth.
If I could recite Jon Stewart's deep dish pizza rant from heart, I would.
He ate deep dish later, and he ate his own words.
Yeah, I remember.
So he can shove it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you think you can take us home, Kason?
Yeah, and that's going to be our show. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. Like and subscribe if you wish. Leave a comment below with your thoughts. Share the podcast around if you can. And please stay tuned for the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and take care. Have fun.